you're doing well. Well, we've missed a few weeks, took some time off, and then had the wonderful experience of catching COVID for the third time. This is always a pleasure. Not as much of a threat as some would have liked to have made it a few years back, but still, it's an issue. It's a bother. I hope everybody is doing well. We had a tremendous week of VBS last week. We celebrated that, and we're certainly thankful. I just want to kind of share with you something. It was a little humorous. Sue and I were driving to our daughters, and we saw a sign on one of those churches that puts up their sermon, or at least a verse for their sermon. And the quote was from verse 14 of Psalm 139, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And we were just kind of kidding back and forth, having, being in the midst of sickness at that point, just coming out of it. Sue was just laughing and said, now I was fearfully and wonderfully made. And she said, but now I'm just fearful and wonder what happened. And I think for some of us, that's kind of what happens to us as we get a little older, don't we? And there is actually a psalm that speaks to this. It's Psalm 71. It speaks to the issue of aging. And you'll notice in that psalm that the psalmist had a great love for God and expressed that love through his youth. But now that he was older, he had certain concerns. It begins in verse 7. It says, I've become a marvel to many, but you're my strong refuge, and my mouth is filled with your praise and with your glory all the day long. He asks the question now of the Lord, and I think this is important because we all kind of consider this. Do not cast me off in the time of old age. Number 1, do not forsake me when my strength fails. Number 2, and number 3, enemies have spoken against me, and those who watch for my life have consulted together. So 3 things. Number 1 is that the issue of fear that we would have of being forsaken as we get older, that the world shrinks around us. I think of my mother, who's lost most of her family. One remaining sister is in the same nursing home, and she's very ill also. Her husband, her world, everything just kind of shrunk down. The fear of being forsaken, that you're just alone. The second fear that is brought out here is the fear that we all, I think, experience, failing strength, that we just aren't able to do some of the things that we used to do. And then lastly, there is this issue of being victimized, the fear that we might be the subject of someone else's harmful behavior, fraud, whatever it may be. I just want you to kind of understand something. And we were laughing as we were sharing this. I just thought it was incredibly funny. The beauty is how we have come to know the Lord, and that in the midst of all of the issues of our life, leading up to every point, leading up to whatever we're facing, God has shown himself faithful. He says he is in 1 Corinthians 1:9. He's faithful. Jesus was very clear that he'll be with us always, even till the end of the age. That's his promise to the church and to each and every individual believer. The issue that we have is not a matter of, or a lack of his presence. It's really at times, it's perhaps the conditions we put upon his presence. In other words, I want certain aspects to be satisfied so that I can know you're with me. Well, the beauty of our Lord is we don't have to have any of those elements satisfied for him to be with us spiritually. That our life is not built around this material world. That the things that are most important to us, and certainly as you grow older you begin to realize this, the things that are most important are those things that you can't put your fingers on, you can't touch, you might not even be able to see. It's the reality of a living God who not only loves us, but ministers to us in our heart, in the depth of our being. That part of us that you can't see it, but it's there. It's what makes you you. It's what gives you strength and comfort in the midst of adversity. That element, that immaterial aspect of us. Call it personality, call it whatever you want. It's more than that. For the believer, it's the relationship that we have with our Lord. And through His Spirit, the guidance that we receive, and the comfort, and the encouragement, and the sense of His love. So, I guess we can honestly say this, that we can count on God being faithful. And one thing that we can do, He goes into later on in this psalm, which I think is quite, you've taught me from my youth, and I still declare, he says in verse 17, your wondrous deeds. And even when I'm old and gray, do not forsake me until I declare your strength to this generation, your power to all who are to come. For your righteousness, O God, reaches to the heavens. In other words, God, let's just keep speaking of the one who has shown himself faithful to us in every measure of our life. Not by what has happened, but by his presence. He didn't promise us no problems. He promised us his presence. And with that, friends, I think I'll say adieu.